not.
It's not screen sharing now.
Fuck! Hello everyone, it is your host, Echidna811, back with another episode of Let's Play Sonic Adventure DX. I am joined by Popypopland and special guest for this recording, Denshi. You guys
Hey, who's Yeti 3? Oh, that's.
Oh no. Fuck me.
Fucking random.
Who the fuck invited him back?
Didn't he break a rule? I wasn't here when that happened, but did he break a rule or something?
Well, yeah. He was just being a general pain in the ass.
Nick, if you want to get rid of invites, you can go through in the settings and delete the invites, which only really affects you if you have one public on your channel.
I like Among Us! Among Us!
Oh, that was...
Oh, it was Popey!
I fucking got you all.
Oh.
Okay, that was funny.
Oh.
That was funny.
Well, you got me there, Poppy.
I would
For
have
a second, I thought it was actually that asshole, but no.
No.
Anyway, we are now playing as Knuckles. With the power of gliding. I don't know how the hell he has the power of gliding. Might have something to do with his crazy hair.
Oh, crazy, yeah.
And now Eggman's plotting to destroy the island.
Bitches, I'm going to perform a pagan ritual, and what that's going to do is load all the child pornography on planet Earth.
Here on this dark island.
Yeah, in this Let's Play we make Eggman seem to be a pedophile.
That could harm it.
Just because we
Why
hate
I was given this job,
pedos.
why it was my fate.
Or mocking,
Destined to be here.
publicly mocking pedophiles.
I
Because they're evil people.
I hate Knuckles' voice. It's just so fucking. It's just so
I
fucking.
don't know what voice he has in this one, but
I mean, the
Probably
voice
is
in this one
interesting.
sounds like he's half bored.
What the?
Now chaos appears.
Chaos.
And I realized I yet again forgot to set a timer for this recording.
Oh no! Something's happened to the Master Emerald.
Something's happened to the Master
Who
Emerald.
are you? Did you do this? Oh, I'll get you for this.
Yeah. And he realizes that you can't punch a water god because they'll just jump. Damn, he knocked him all the way down the stairs
No fair.
of his own island. And now, Chaos just disappears because he's water.
And why can't it just grab the emeralds if he's water?
I don't know. He doesn't have the emeralds. The emerald pieces are scattered all around the
I've never seen
levels.
anything like it.
But it's inside of chaos.
Without the Master Emerald's power,
So without the Master Emerald's power, Angel Island cannot float.
I know it's gonna crash into the ground and kill everybody.
Now it's going to crash.
Here it comes!
And connect itself to the Mystic Ruins.
Echidna's recording studios.
Boom. Boom. RAM module connected. Or boom. Power socket connected.
It's up for me to find the missile pieces.
Now it's time for
I don't
us
know.
to
Remember.
pieces.
I don't know what's a good voice for Knuckles.
Why don't they have put in like a little cage over the Master Emerald to prevent something like this from happening?
I don't know, he could, but then Knuckles would be accused of being a racist. If he put a cage over it.
It's the difference if you put Knuckles in the cage, not the emeralds. The
Oh.
emeralds are.
I said put the emerald in a cage. I never implied anything racial.
But what if he accidentally locked himself with the Master Emerald?
These are some like freaking BuzzFeed levels of over-analysis. Freaking like paper is racist because it's white colored.
Oh yeah, well then what is...
That's
So
a
wait.
Denshi video.
Milk
You are
is
accused
white
of
supremacy.
racism.
Then tell me, what is chocolate milk, PETA? Black Lives Matter? You see how stupid that logic is? I mean, what I'm saying is it's stupid logic to call food a form of supremacy.
So Denshi, do you think milk is white supremacy?
Do I think milk is... Yes.
I mean,
Oh my god.
Light themes are white supremacy too.
That's just
Obviously.
Just
That's
like,
why
you
all
know,
the progressive companies have a dark theme.
Cyber-powered gaming PCs are actually a form of white supremacy, and we as the
Yeah,
ADL
exactly.
charge you with a hate crime.
cyber power PCs are white supremacy.
Yep.
Then what is Acer then? Even whiter supremacy?
They're misogynists.
And then what would Dell be?
They
Just
would be
old-timers?
neo-Nazis.
The neo-Nazis. How?
Yes.
Because of Alienware?
Because we're the ADL and we say anything, and if you disagree, you're automatically a Nazi, remember?
You know, the radar system works better in this game than Sonic Adventure 2 because it can detect any emerald nearby.
Any emerald.
Any emerald. And if you end up getting lost, you can have Tikal point you out where you're supposed to go.
Well,
Instead
you know
of the
what?
stupid radar system that just gives you vague hints, which forces you to know the level layout in Sonic Adventure 2.
German U-boats should have fucking used this shit. They would have won the war.
Emeralds can be found inside. Of course, sometimes the emeralds can be inside enemies, so you have to destroy the enemies to get the emerald pieces.
Inside. It's inside his ball sack.
Yes. Where does he put them, in fact?
He puts it up his ass. What you gonna say? But that's some Sonic Passion level stuff right there.
Yeah, I don't want to think about Alex Henriel.
Alex Henriel. Come on.
Fuck Alex.
God.
Sonic's girlfriend.
Also,
real, guys.
I don't know if
Yeah,
this seems as if this is lagging a little bit, and I don't understand why.
It's Jason is causing it.
It's fucking Jason Citron and his stupid ass servers.
Stupid ass.
Stupid ass fucking data laundering scheme. Yeah,
Everything's
Jason
data
Citron
laundering.
is secretly working for the Chinese government.
They all work for the Chinese government, let's be honest.
And fucking President Xi Jinping gets access to all the fucking shit.
Why does this always get so political every single time?
I mean,
It's funny.
this fucking
It's Sonic Adventure 2, yet we're gonna go and rant on
You know-
minorities.
I mean,
Interesting.
the Chinese aren't
Okay,
a
I'll
minority
try
per
and...
se. Their numbers are huge. Their army
Okay,
is fucking
I'll
gigantic. They control so much
try
of the world.
and change the conversation from Xi Jinping. So, jeez, I don't know. What's up with Linux? What's going on with Linux now? The future of the new kernel. I mean the Linux kernel, who's the operating system.
What are you asking about it?
What's new up with it? What have they recently added to Linux?
Pretty much nothing, really. Like, they just keep adding shit for gaming and a bunch of other things. Like, I think it crap when they decided to stop naming it Linux 6 and named it Linux 5.10. I think that was the problem. We're at Linux 5.13 at this point. I have no idea what's going on. I'll tell you one thing. A lot of people are disagreeing with Linux. A lot of people are sort of really becoming anti-Linux nowadays. Because, you know, with all the open BSD hype. I love how that literally became a meme. You know, we've been joking about so long, since longer than like a year or something. Like, we've been saying, guys, is it really possible to use OpenBSD as a daily driver? You know, we've been saying that for so long. Now people are actually taking that seriously. Like, they're actually going to start using OpenBSD as a daily driver. Because, why? Well, because Linux has some really fundamental flaws that are only becoming more and more noticeable as time goes on. In its management, not in its software. The software is relatively well made. But the problem is that, you know, the Linux Foundation, it's ran by people who use Macs. That's always a good sign. The Linux developers, they keep adding like 2 million lines of code or something every single year. Something absolutely ridiculous like that. That is number one, bloat, and number two, unmaintainable. Because if you keep adding 2 million lines of code every year, that's 2 million more lines you'll have to fix when they inevitably break next year. And that's the problem. It keeps becoming more and more bloated. It doesn't add anything. And yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to that.
I mean, adding gaming stuff for Linux, I mean, I see that as pointless since not all games can run on Linux.
No, they add them so they can get more compatibility. Like at this point, like it's improved so much over the last 2 years. The majority of games run nowadays, which is good and all. But why does that like? They add that into the kernel. You optionally can disable it. But the fact that we even need that in the first place is ridiculous. But regardless, that's not even the big problem. The big problem is that they keep adding bullcrap into the kernel, like security, Intel security keys, and a bunch of other things. I could go into a technical dive, but I don't think this is very appropriate for wall climbing because Knuckles looking for emerald pieces. But the big thing when it comes to Linux is that they keep adding stuff, and they keep adding all these lines of code. It's going to become unmaintainable because it's just gotten too big and bloated at some point. Also, it goes against Unix and whatever, but whatever.
So
that's a different topic.
The end of Linux and the rise of BSD.
I predicted that at the end of my Linux Dark Age video. That whole video is all about like, oh guys, Linux is like my edgy channel trailer. It's all like, oh guys, oh there's an emerald piece.
There's the final one.
Da-da-da-da-da.
And there we go.
I hate the fact that there's so many fucking distros
How long has it
on
been?
Linux.
That's a good thing, I think. Fragmentation shows health and freedom.
Been 10 minutes, but like I'm not against the freedom to make as many distros as they want, but I just want.
Well, Arch Linux can run everything. That's what I like.
Yeah, but Arch is very difficult to install, especially if you don't.
Yeah, so there's Manjaro and Artix has an auto installer, so that's good.
And there's
From what we
Manjaro,
did,
which
it's
is
very
just Arch
easy to
without the
install.
hassle.
Well, Manjaro is having a few issues. Well, it's just like I know I've said this before, but it's ran by monkeys. I swear the packages break all the time. It's worse than Arch in a lot of ways, despite it being quote unquote easier. It's easier to install. Everything after that is just a pain because they include all this other crap. But I think it's okay for some beginners. It's just gotten worse over time. I wish somebody would make a distribution of Arch Linux that has some kind of auto installer. I was thinking of doing it, but I don't know if I will.
I mean, like, imagine making a Shadow the Hedgehog OS, but every single piece of text is edgy as hell.
That'd be funny.
Everything. It's the based person's OS.
I honestly
Based
hate
OS.
loaded distros. I'm gonna get so much shit for this, but like Ubuntu, Linux, Mint, and all this.
No, nobody likes those. That's not even the problem. That's not the problem. The problem is the fact that number one, new Linux users are being sold stuff like snap packages. Like, are we genuinely serious here? We're selling the new Linux users snap packages. Like, really? The first thing you see, install Ubuntu. Ubuntu uses snap as its package manager. Snap packages, not to mention Flatpaks as well. They're slightly better, but still just as worse. Cringe.
I mean,
Cringe.
I don't. I mean, really, I don't see much wrong with Linux Mint. I think it's a.
Linux Mint is good. It's run by good people. I think it's a good
I
project.
mean, the people that develop it really care about the people that use it. Like, they don't have snap as an automatic
The distro maintainers, we're seeing some amazing distros nowadays. The problem is not that. The problem is at the source. The Linux kernel itself, the core to Linux, is just being ruined. It's so much code is being added, and then of course they tried to oust like Torvalds, the creator of Linux, Linus Torvalds from the project. There was that whole thing where we tried to cancel him or whatever, but they forgot about it after a week. They tried to do the same thing for Richard Stallman, who made GNU, and they succeeded. And now, yeah, Richard Stallman, who made GNU, they succeeded with him.
Richard Stallman, stop fucking hosting TF2 bots, you bastard!
That's not what he's doing, but I just wanted to point out one thing. Linux Mint, they use an older version of the kernel.
Yeah, well, of course, so does Debian and every other distribution. Ubuntu included. Arch uses the latest one, but that's because Arch is bleeding edge on purpose.
Yeah, well that's what I like about Arch.
I didn't even know who the fuck Richard Stallman was until those TF2 bots went around fucking
Well, that's not Richard Stallman. That's I don't know what you're talking about.
Stallman.
That's not the same guy.
Oh, so you see this Sonic statue? Boom! Not anymore. Knuckles is toppling down Sonic's empire.
Yeah, it's time for Knuckles the Echidna.
Sort of like how in Bioshock Infinite, the people that live in Finkton rise up against the authority. Basically a revolution.
As well.
Revolution.
Do you think Signal is shit now since the US can break the encryption for it?
I've never heard. I don't think you can break Signal encryption, but regardless, you shouldn't trust any centralized I'd rather people use Signal and something like WhatsApp or whatever. Like, I wouldn't trust it in the first place, regardless of whether they say it's encrypted or not. I think it is encrypted. Like, I trust Signal. I mean, all the source code, backend and front end is open, but they've been slow to update the backend code and publish it correctly. Like, they did publish it in the end, but they need to update that when they update on their servers, because if they make unknown changes, that defeats the whole purpose. But regardless, it's their servers and you're using them. So by default, regardless of whether it's open source or not, you shouldn't trust them. I think people should use Signal. That's why I recommended it in my Just Use Signal video. It's a good alternative to WhatsApp, and most people cannot deal with Matrix and Element and all these things. So I made a separate video about that. So I think people using Signal, that's a good thing. However, using something like Matrix or XMPP is always going to be better.
I was thinking it'd be a good idea to move off the Signal then because of those certain particular reasons. Because me and Nick uses Telegram, which Luke Smith.
If you guys want to use something, just use Matrix. It's pretty good. I already have a server running. If you want Nickinator, I can set you up an account with any password you want or something. I don't know. It's sort of like Discord but self-hosted. Like, it has more features, Matrix, compared to a Telegram. You can do calls and everything. It's pretty good.
Yes, there.
Alright.
And that's the stage done in like 3 minutes. I've recently been trying to beat fucking Sonic 06. Why? Because I like a good challenge, but the game fucking sucks. It's like torture. I bet you don't even need to waterboard people. Just force them to play Sonic 06 as a form of torture.
That'd be a success, yeah.
Like, the United States could just use playing Sonic 06 to treat prisoners of war. They could do that if they wanted. It's so bad.
But something about it.
And now Knuckles has been teleported to his lost tribe's
This is
land.
very strange.
It's implied that Knuckles is supposedly the last living Echidna, but that's not true, since Tikal is technically still alive, but she seals herself into the Master Emerald. Oh shit, spoilers. We'll find out later. But, Knuckles is not the last Echidna. God damn it. I hate how talking to NPCs works in this game. You have to be in a specific spot in front of them in order to do that. And if you're just off, you end up punching them.
Punch them!
And it's
punch
even
them! Punch
it's even
them!
worse if you're trying to talk to one of the female NPCs. And it's just you have to be in a really specific spot in front of them, or else you accidentally punch them or something.
Come on, punch them.
You can't. Can't you? So basically, Tikal's father wants to just raid other worlds and steal land. Basically, it's actually not. It's like a native tribe taking over other tribal land.
Now where am I?
It's like a power struggle or some shit. I don't know.
Back in Station Square.
And now
I see.
Knuckles has been teleported back.
What's going on here anyway?
Station Square.
S.
Yeah.
Ma. Shia. In.
I
By.
wonder what those guys are doing.
Land. On. Seen.
I mean,
By. Toy. Does. Speed.
looks like Sonic and Tails have still been knocked out.
What time are we at? I think
I
we're.
wonder what those guys
Yeah, we're
are
at
doing.
20 minutes.
Alright, I guess I'll just call it a part here.
I guess. I mean, we did do quite a little bit as Knuckles over here at the casino. And before when we found the actual 3 emerald shards.
Yep.
The city.
Alright, I'll just call it a part here.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching.
No problem.
We'll be back for another episode soon. Plus, I have like 2 other episodes I have to edit and upload at the time of this recording.
Alright.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, and Richard Stallman, if you're watching this,
Oh
fuck
gosh.
yourself. Stop hosting bots, god damn it. I mean, I know it's not you.
Is there really a
doing it,
guy
but
called
still.
Richard Stallman?
But I know you're not doing it specifically, but still. Tell
Alright.
people to stop hosting bots of you.
What you must say.